How I found my integral self in Kansas. I've wanted to run away from my life for a long, long time. When I was married to a controlling, abusive, and mentally ill man who believed we were the two prophets mentioned in the book of Revelations, and God always seemed to be angry with me, I wanted to run away. When I was a far-right evangelical Christian whose beliefs about hell and creation were beginning to unravel, I wanted to run away. Later, when I left the church, when I found myself adrift, not knowing what to believe anymore, without a foundation, and especially because I was in the middle of Kansas, a very red, very conservative, fundamentalist Christian state, I really wanted to run away. So what happened? I found Integral Life, and I started listening to hundreds of hours of audio, listening as I fell asleep and as I walked the dogs, and I watched hours and hours of video of Ken Wilber and other really smart people talk about everything under the sun. I found explanations for my long, crazy Christian journey through Ken Wilber and Father Thomas Keating in the video, The Future of Christianity. And later I learned a lot more from the Reverend Michael Dowd in Thank God for Evolution. I bought the Integral Life Practice Kit, and I learned about meditation from Terry Patton, about shadow from Diane Hamilton, about body awareness from Hui Lam and Rob McNamara, and more. I attended an Integral Incubator and learned from Jeff Salzman, Bert Parley, and many others. And then the Great Awakening. I learned from so many great minds and caring spirits in interviews with Craig Hamilton, and then continuing that wonderful format with Terry Patton in Beyond Awakening. I took classes and joined communities with Craig Hamilton and Barbara Marx Hubbard and Michael Dowd. I volunteered and got to know so many wonderful people, such great role models. I shared videos of Stuart Davis with my friends and totally blew their minds. Still, I wanted to run away from my life and live where I'd find people more like me, more like you. Then a funny thing happened. I started to become a leader. I found myself in a management position at the daily newspaper where I work. I started writing a weekly column, sharing my integral and evolutionary journey openly. I started meeting others in my community who are interested in these topics, and we started a reading group, going through books like Evolutionary Enlightenment by Andrew Cohen, Birth 2012 by Barbara Marx Hubbard, and Evolutionaries by Carter Phipps. In my column, I've gone against the flow of ultra-conservatism, and I've exposed my own carbon footprint. I've talked about death and dying without the fear of hell or the hope of heaven. I've talked about being a vegetarian in cattle country and giving equal time. I've even rode herd and visited a feedlot. There may have been some times when I should have listened longer to the Daily Evolver for Jeff's wisdom and optimism, especially during the election season when I'd go off about all the demagoguery and hyperbole in the campaigns. I've done better, perhaps, talking about faith and integral philosophy and evolution. And somewhere along the line, I realized that I didn't want to run away anymore, that I wanted to continue to be a leader right where I am. Somewhere along the road, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, I found that all I ever wanted was in my own backyard. So here is my report from the frothy edges of Kansas' amber waves of grain. It's a report of profound gratitude for all you've given me. So much guidance, so much space, so much love. A structure that holds me, but also expands and grows to fit everything and everyone. Where would I be without the integral movement? Where would I be without integral community, integral church? Where would I be without you? I shudder to think.